we have a very special guest on the program. We sit down with a man who, for the purpose of this interview, will go by James. He claims to have been part of a top-secret program to send people back in time. For obvious reasons, he asks for his identity to be kept private. Hello, James, and welcome to Apex TV. Can you give us a little background information about why you were chosen to be sent back in time?
Well, I was originally part of a government agency made to protect against terrorist attacks and other large-scale crimes. Then, when time travel was first developed, the agency was assigned to travel back to before the disasters occurred and stop them that way. I was picked to be the first crew leader.
Alright, that's fascinating. And why does the future government send people back in time?
We're sent back to stop large attacks, whether they're from terrorists or any other large world government. We have military bases in different time periods known as time sections. The section from your time is Section 51, but it is more commonly known as Area 51.
Wow, so Area 51 is actually meant for time travel.
Yes.
For time travelers. Okay. And I know you said before this interview you can't give us any influential information about the future because it would change the future. But is there anything you can tell us about what our future world will be like?
I can say that there is one large world government. There is no United States government or English royalty or anything like that. The entire world was taken over by one government, but I'm not at liberty to say which one.
Alright, interesting. And what do you say to because obviously there's going to be a lot of people who watch this video who aren't going to believe what you're saying. And what do you say to those critics who question the authenticity of your story?
Remember when everyone was afraid of the world ending in 2012? Well, it was going to, but we stopped it.
So the world was going to end in 2012 after those Mayan predictions and all that?
Yes.
Wow.
Those Mayan predictions were other time travelers sent back to the time section.
Wow.
From that time period.
So we're actually in an infinite loop right now,
yes,
where people keep coming back to in time to stop something, and then you have to keep doing it over and over.
The first time section, Section 1, is the oldest point in time that has living creatures.
Wow. Okay. And now I just wanted to ask you, how did you get here, and what's the process of time travel like? Because there's been a lot of theories, in science fiction and stuff, and we're just wondering what's actual time travel process like?
It's actually pretty simple. You see, there are two different methods of time travel. There's a tourist route, which is time travel for vacation purposes. The time machine acts like a plane. It has seats, baggage areas, even a cockpit and bathroom. The time travel method takes up to 8 hours to work. They have certain destinations in time that are prominent events in history. Some of the biggest examples are the Gettysburg Address, signing of the Declaration of Independence, even the first ever live movie. There's even a tourist destination where you can meet Walt Disney himself. The second type of time travel is for military purposes. It is much quicker, but is much more painful. See, the commercial route is an airplane that is sent back through the time machine, and since the process takes hours, the people inside don't feel a thing. But the military time travel needs to be done quickly. Since the method of travel takes only a few minutes, it causes the person in the machine to feel a great pain. Great amount of pain. It's like nothing I can describe.
Okay. And, I was just wondering if, because you talk a lot about going back in time, going back to significant events and everything, I was wondering if time travel to the future is possible.
Of course it's possible. How do you think I'll get back home after this?
Good point. And, are you here for some big event that's going to happen in 2017?
World War III is coming. It begins with the Second Civil War in America, followed by North Korea bombing the East Coast. I can't say a specific date or time, but it begins within the next 4 years.
So if you stop it, then no one's going to know about it, right? Like if your organization stops it?
Well, that's why I'm allowed to tell you now, because if it doesn't happen, then everyone will just think you're crazy.
Yeah, they will, and they'll look back on this interview right here.
And they will believe it's fake.
Yeah. Interesting. So you came back for 2017, presumably because there's some large event coming. And if you stop it, then no one's going to have known about it. And if you don't stop it, then this interview will be looked back on as factual.
If we don't stop it, then I'm never even alive to come back to do this interview in the first place.
Alright. So I just want to say thank you so much, James, for agreeing to do this interview. We really appreciate it. And thanks so much for doing it.
Yep, thank you for having me. I'm really not at liberty to say much else, so I should probably get going.
Alright, and James, real quick before you go, actually, can you tell people to subscribe to Apex TV, or would that be changing the future too much? Would we get too many subscribers if you said that?
Well, in the future, Apex TV is actually a full-on TV channel that is viewed around the world.
Oh,
sweet. It is a huge channel. And this is actually the humble beginnings of the TV network.
That's awesome.
So, I guess this is a pretty big point in time as well.
I really hope your prediction's right, James. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Have a great day. And now we take a look at some other people claiming to be real-life time travelers. Enjoy.